Hello, this is Casey from Casey Grandpa Tech with your Geeky Grandpa Talks Tech. Listen, I want to talk to you about a product review of a product that I found online. And it's called a fire blanket. But I also want to talk to you today about fire safety. So let's get into that right now. Many of us have had someone who's been in a house fire, like myself, or who has experienced a loss from fire. One of the biggest problems today is that we're so busy and we just don't take the time to do the things what we need to do. So I want to talk a little bit about fire safety first, then I'm going to talk about this blanket, and then I want to finish up about fire. So based on what the experts say, there are a couple things that you need to do to maintain your apartment or your house to be safe. One, of course, is to check your smoke detectors that they're working. They recommend once a month. And to change the batteries. The best time to change the batteries, of course, is on daylight savings time because it's a constant reminder and you should check them. Now, a person who's been in a house fire and been woke up with smoke detectors, you only have 2 minutes once those smoke detectors ignite, go off, telling you that you have a fire. The other thing is you need to keep an eye on your appliances. Okay, everybody likes to set up your stove and start cooking, and that's where we're going to be focusing today. But things can get away right away. Things can happen. The other thing is you should have a carbon monoxide detector in your house, at least one, preferably two. One should be near your furnace, another one should be somewhere where your living area is. And they do have smoke detectors that are combined carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. And of course, just basically practice safe habits. One of the things as a computer tech for years, I would have people bring their laptops in and they were burnt. They almost started a fire. Laptops have their venting system on the bottom. And as normally, including some tablets, people take their tablets or laptops and put them on the bed while they're working, put them directly on the blankets. Well, that blocks the vents, and the laptop will start to get hot. And it may even clog the vents to the point where there's no air circulation at all. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've seen more laptops that were melted internally that because they put it on the bed. The other thing is you don't want to ever leave a tablet, a phone, a laptop on the bed, on a sofa, charging. We've seen so many of these batteries fail over the years. Samsung had the exploding battery. We've had laptop batteries that have been recalled. So you definitely don't want to have your laptop charging on the bed, on the sofa, anywhere like that. You want to have it on a table in case it starts to overheat. Now, let's get into this fire blanket. One of the most common fires in the house, of course, is a stove fire. And it's sometimes even a barbecue fire where things get away. You're frying something, some of the oil has been spraying on the walls, has been spraying elsewhere, and suddenly you have a fire. Well, you better have the right type of fire extinguisher, number one, to be able to put that out. And then the other problem is, do you know how to use that fire extinguisher? Most people put it on the wall, attach it, have never even cut the little plastic piece to make it available to be able to use. So I'm going to show you an alternative that I found called a fire blanket, and let's talk about that right now. It does come in a package like this, very simple. You're going to hang it somewhere near, and all you have to do is open it and pull the blanket out, and I'll show you in a video. And basically it's very simple to use. The main thing is, what it's going to do is protect or cover the fire and prevent oxygen from getting to it, basically putting it out. And what's nice about the fire blanket is it works on all types of fire, A, B, and C. I mean, you imagine you get a fire, electrical cord, suddenly you have a fire there, and you're trying to say, well, which fire extinguisher do I use? If you use a water-based fire extinguisher, you're dead. If you're using the wrong type of fire extinguisher in your kitchen, the oil could go everywhere and the fire could spread. This is a very simple use, and let me show you that right now. This product is very simple to use. As you can see, just pull it out of its package, hang it, and then drop it over the fire. Now here's a demonstration from their website of taking the product and dropping it over a fire. It basically cuts out the oxygen from the fire and protects you from getting burned at the same time. Let's go a little bit more. This makes it an excellent product because most people, if they have to use a fire extinguisher, first don't even know how to use it. And this guy's holding the product up like he's doing it, and that's not the proper way to actually use a fire extinguisher anyway. But if you don't, and the other thing is, you must have the right fire extinguisher for the type of fire that you're using, whether it be A, B, or C, whether it be oil, water, or electrical. So if you don't know what you have, a fire blanket dropped over the fire itself makes the best sense. Now the last thing I want to talk to you about, you might even get a couple of these, put them, and there's a larger size that they make that is large enough to cover you. So I would keep that by the bedroom, and I'll leave you the link to where I found this. But basically, you're in your house, suddenly there's a fire, you have to get out. You put the fire blanket up around you, and you're able to get through the fire. The other thing most people don't know, what do you do when there's so much smoke? Well, the one thing about that you can use is a mask. If you have some water, put it on it, put it over your face. That will prevent the smoke and materials from getting into your lungs and buy you some time while you're trying to get out. Or if you're trapped in the room, it'll buy you some time to prevent you from passing out from the smoke. But most people don't know that. But again, I would recommend having, number one, a phone next to your bed. Number two, a fire blanket in the bedroom in case you need to escape and get through the fire. Number three, I would have a mask of some type with bottled water next to it that you could put on the mask and cover your face while you're trying to get out. The other thing that is major is that a lot of people don't take the time to clean their dryer vent. Most fires that occur in dryers occur because the lint begins to back up. That little lint filter that you pull out every so often and wipe, that you need to be cleaning every time. Well, eventually that tube that's going to the back, out to the outside, should be cleaned at least every 5 years, preferably once every year. And they do sell a tool that you can connect to your vacuum, push it through your tube, and empty out that tube. And the other thing you want to make sure that your dryer vent that connects to the wall is made out of a material that's metal. Many years ago, they were selling dryer vents that were made out of plastic. And when a fire starts, they would immediately burn through and start a fire in the house. Where if they're a metallic material, you have less of a chance of it spreading into the house. The other thing is, periodically you need to go outside, look at the dryer vent, check that the door opens and closes, that there's nothing blocking it, like vines or trees or grass or anything preventing it. In fact, the same thing about when you're in the wintertime. If you have a heavy snowfall, you want to make sure that dryer vent is clear, because once you turn on that vent, that carbon monoxide can come back in because the snow is blocking the vent. At any rate, I hope this has been useful for you. This is a quick review of the fire blanket and some quick tips about fire prevention. Having been in a house fire at the age of 8, it's something very passionate to me. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And again, until next time, this is Casey from Gracie Grandpa Tech out.